guys, and welcome back to my YouTube. So as you can probably tell by my background, I finally got a ring light. As you all are probably aware from the rants I go on about my last ring light, I paid about €250 for this branded influencer ring light that every influencer on Instagram goes on about, and it broke after like 4 months. And I ended up getting a €20 one on Amazon that is honestly 10 times better than the €250 one. And don't ask why I paid that much for a ring light in the first place, because honestly, when I think about it, it stresses me out. I don't even know if my camera is focusing that good, is it? It's focusing close, but when I go a bit back. Okay, so I thought I'd do a fun sit down video to you, talk to you, answer some questions and stuff, because I haven't done one of these in a while. So I'm just kind of gonna update you a bit on my life, because I know I come on YouTube and I absolutely splurge everything about my life and then I don't make a video for another while, but I feel like I have some things to update you on. I have things to update you on about London. So we are moving back to London next week. I was about to say month, but no, it's next week. Yeah, we only booked it the other day. As you probably are aware, me and Nick are very last minute. We book holidays last minute, we move places last minute, and I don't like talking about things until it's booked, it's definite, it's happening, because I feel like that can just cause a lot of like bad luck in my opinion. It's booked, we booked it yesterday on our day off, and I am so excited. If you know me, since I've came back to Cork, I wasn't feeling it this time. I obviously miss my friends and my family and stuff, but honestly I was never... My dog's barking. Anyway, I was honestly never happier when I lived in London. Obviously it was a lot of money and it's hard to live in London, don't get me wrong, but it was honestly the best like moment of my entire life. So we're moving back there next week. I know a lot of you are probably like, you were meant to be home for Christmas and you were home a lot longer, and I know I was. I've been home for like 10 weeks I think it's been, which was a lot longer than expected. We were hoping to be back in London start of February, but we're actually going back start of March, which I don't think is that long of a difference. But I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, why was I home for so long? Honestly, it's really hard to move back to London. I think people forget that money doesn't grow on trees, especially me. But I had to go back to my old job, Luke had to go back to his old job, and we had to, you know, work to save money for a deposit for our rent again. That's one of the main reasons. Another reason is because I had these important interviews as well, and I wanted to be in Ireland for them so I could work out to get a short or long-term contract when we move back to London, stuff like that. It was just mainly because the interview and saving, it was just better to do that in Ireland, where I don't have to pay rent in my house with my mum. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to do all those things first before we moved back. We are moving back to the same apartment block that we lived in London so we lived there from, I think it was September to December. Yeah, we lived there about 4 or 5 months. So we're actually moving back to the same apartment block, but I think we're getting the room next door. It's a little bit bigger, it's after getting modernised. I haven't seen the pictures of it yet, but we really loved our last room. Keep in mind, it's not an amazing, I'm sure if you visited London or live in London, you'll know rent prices are crazy expensive. So we have a studio again, but we have a private bathroom, private kitchen, so that's all that matters to us really, and it's in an unreal location. Like, we're right behind Oxford Street and so easy to get to work and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited because we really loved the area we lived in. I think I've said it in like videos before that we really wanted to move to Shoreditch. It was very hard to get a room in Shoreditch for me and Luke. I'm trying to think what else I'd talk to you about. I did a question poll there a few weeks ago, but I actually never got a chance to get through it, and I done another one a few days ago as well, so I'm gonna answer a few questions on that. I seen this thing on Instagram, and it was like on somebody's story, and it was like, people need to remember, just because you follow someone and they post content like me online, that like you can't ask them certain questions just because you think that they're like, I don't know, not real, and they're just a person online and you can ask them whatever. Like, I get asked certain questions in my DM someday and I'm just like, before you'd ever see me messaging someone that I don't know and that's not my friend asking something like that. So yeah, I seen that like post, and it was like, just a reminder, people that you follow on Instagram, like, you don't actually know them. Like, I talk my absolute life off on this camera, you probably think you know everything about me, but really you don't. you really don't. I think I'm 10 times more excited this time because I know what to expect, and I don't have the nervous feeling anymore because we've moved there already and we loved it, and I have friends there, I have a job there already, and we have accommodation sorted and everything like that. So I'm really looking forward to going back to London. I think it's kind of an awkward time moving back to London though, when World War III could literally happen. I don't really like to think about it like that, but I feel like it's like whenever we come out of something bad else happens. Like, we're all stuck in COVID for like 2-3 years. Like, my teenage years were wasted. I'm sure loads of people's teenage years were wasted, and now there could be a war. You are scrolling past the TikToks, do watch them and educate yourself on the topic because it is very important. It's just crazy that we're in 2022 and a war is going on where boys over the age of 18 years old in Ukraine have to go and fight against Russia in war. Keep in mind now, Russia has probably one of the highest facilities when it comes to like army, like people that train for wars and stuff. And then they have Ukraine, where they have 18-year-old boys and over who's probably never touched a gun in their life, or probably never even gotten into a fight in their life, going off to war against them to protect their country. Like, oh my god, it makes me so anxious and sick to even think about it. Like, imagine if it was Ireland. Like, imagine if my dad and Luke and all male people I knew were going off to war, like against a different country. One things I found that were like, that helped me understand it a bit more is there's this thing called NATO, or anyway, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's NATO. So basically it's like this agreement between a lot of countries in Europe and outside Europe that basically if their country is under attack, it means all the other countries in NATO have to fight back. So basically I think Ukraine were trying to get into that group and Russia didn't like that, and they're trying to take control of Ukraine now because they have a lot of valuables. Like, nobody's going to attack Ireland really because we don't have that many facilities, but for example, like, Ukraine has oil which can be sold for a lot of money. They have lots of land or whatever, and they're close to Russia, so I presume that's why Russia wants to take over. Don't quote me for anything, this is kind of just things I've learned from TikToks where I found it interesting. But yeah, definitely educate yourself on stuff. But basically what's happening if, for example, Russia now attack a European country or a country that is involved in NATO, it could cause like a World War III because all those other countries that are in that agreement will have to protect and fight back. All my thoughts and prayers are with Ukraine and anyone who has family members over there. Like, I was watching these videos and they honestly would break your heart of like people saying goodbye to their dads or their boyfriends or their husbands and knowing that they're probably not going to see them. I have a lump in my throat. Yeah, I need to stop talking about it. Now, I'm not saying everything I've said is 100% accurate, but it's what I've seen and what I've educated myself on, and you should go and do the same thing as well. I get very emotional about things like that, like, because it's you, like, that could happen to us any other day. How did this go from me talking about moving to London and then World War III? So I actually done my makeup really nice for work today because I obviously was filming this YouTube video, so if you see me in work looking fan as hell, don't mind me. But anyways, I'm wearing this jumpsuit. This was actually a jumpsuit that was meant to be for my interview because I bought 2 outfits, but I love it so much. Anything with the thumb in the holes in tops has me written all over. I just feel so comfortable. It's a jumpsuit from PLT and I'm just wearing my Ugg slippers. I'm not going to be making a big deal about us moving back to London this time because been there, done that, came back before we knew it. But one thing I'm going to miss is my dog. I'm going to miss Leo so much. Nobody understands coming home to a little dog every day. When you're finished work, you come home and have the worst day ever, and a little ball of fluff sitting on your bed could honestly make my day. But yeah, one thing I'm going to do when I go back to London is one thing I never done when I was over there was make TikToks, and I'm really after getting back into the swing of making TikToks. My TikToks are actually doing really good. So yeah, if you are watching this, do follow me on TikTok and follow me on Instagram, because when I get closer to 10k I will be doing a giveaway. And also I just love making TikToks. And when I was over in London, I had my iPhone 11 and my camera was brutal because my storage was awful. But as you know, for Christmas I got the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So now that I'm over in London, I'm going to be making such cool aesthetic TikToks. So definitely follow me if you'd be interested in watching that. I just always see cool like London TikToks, and I really got back into the swing of posting a good few a day now that I'm back here with a new phone. But I can only imagine how good my content will be in London. Definitely just taking more pictures like and posting random photo dumps. I feel like that's kind of what I'm into now, like aesthetic pictures. I'm sure, like, as you are all aware, my old Instagram was kind of just hauls, fashion content and like stuff like that all the time, and pictures of me and outfits. But to be honest, like, that was a great part of my life, but it's very hard to maintain keeping up buying packages upon packages of clothes all the time just to make content, when I kind of prefer showing like reusable pieces, wearing things again, getting cool pictures like that. That's kind of what I'm into now, because especially living in London and trying to save and trying to travel, it's very hard to be having hundreds of packages coming in the door every day to make videos, when I kind of am focusing more on lifestyle now. So like things I do every day, things I wear every day, that type of like just like daily life videos and like daily life pictures and like what I do every day. But yeah, that's kind of just the end of my video. I just wanted to update you on my life and a few things, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon and have another video hopefully before we are back in London. But if not, I will see you then. Goodbye.